My story is a bit different from some of the stories that you'll hear. I worked my way through college as a locksmith, graduated with a degree in English literature, and there wasn't a very big demand for English majors when I graduated from school. In 1973, Marriott was opening its flagship hotel in Los Angeles. I'm very old. I went to work for them as the locksmith, which was a maintenance helper position. I was just intending to keep that job for a little while, and then I'd move on to a real career. From there, I got interested in engineering, so I went to trade school and I took all the classes and learned about boilers and chillers and electricity and plumbing and paint and vinyl and wood and everything you can imagine, and eventually worked my way to becoming a director of engineering. Page's current boss was in his first general manager job, and he thought I behaved a bit differently from most of the engineers that he had ever run into, and convinced me that maybe my skills could be directed in another, or pushed in another direction. And part of the story that I want to tell you here is that this is an amazing industry to be in if you really want to look for a diverse opportunity of different kinds of work. Because the next thing I went into from engineering was human resources. And I learned the human resources discipline for 3 years in that same hotel. I was both the director of engineering and the director of human resources. And people used to ask me, human resources and engineering, how does that work? And my response was always, it's just about problem solving. In one case it's machines, and in another case it's people. Machines are easier to problem solve. I eventually transitioned fully into human resources and did that for 20 years. Actually worked at Marriott headquarters for 3 years as the subject matter expert for a technology project while Marriott was implementing PeopleSoft HR and also PeopleSoft Finance into the corporation. I came back out into the field as a director of human resources, came to Arizona as a director of human resources, and retired from the company and started my own human resources consulting business, compliance mostly. I did that for 5 years until Anna called and said, hey, we've got this little situation here at our hotel. Would you consider coming back into your previous career? So I went back to the hotel and ended up being the director of engineering there. So we've come full circle. It's been over 40 years since I started this thing. And I tell you that just to say, anything you can imagine in the kind of a job that you might want to do, anything that you, and the second you think you have it all figured out, everybody sitting up here will tell you the very same thing. You don't. There's always some other possibility, something else that you can do. And I will tell you the most rewarding thing that has ever happened to me in my job as an employer is having people come back to me that I hired and helped start on a career and say thank you. That was, it's because of you that I'm doing what I'm doing. They're successful, they've got careers, and every one of us as executive committee people are responsible for employing people, providing a great workplace for them, giving them things and tools and skills that they can take forward into their lives and do great things. And we get to do that every day when we get to work. I get to fix the chillers and replace the cooling towers too, but it's still all part of what we do.
It was easy to get him back because he was my boss. So I said, thank you for getting me to this role. You do me a favor by coming back.